Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Lucier. I'm here for your free info session webinar. Thank you very much for attending. I appreciate your interest in Tong Ren Academy and the Tam Healing System and our training, which is very helpful for people all over the world. So let's begin. If everybody would just announce themselves through a comments area, that would be very beneficial so I know everybody's here and I can also answer your questions. So right on the web page of tongrenacademy.com where you registered, you can actually post a comment. If you're on Google Plus, we can get it there as well. So again, thank you for your attendance, and you can post your questions anytime and we'll get them all together at the end. Thank you very much. So what we'll do, we'll begin right now. I have founded Tong Ren Academy specifically for training, and I've been a practitioner for many years. So the goal of the training is especially for people that are new to the Tam Healing System, for treating cancer, ALS, MS, all kinds of conditions, to have a basic core foundation as well as a scientific premise for understanding exactly what the Tam Healing System is about. It is based upon my book, The Tam Healing System Illustrated Anatomy, and based upon my research and actually my actual practice that I undertake in my clinic in Quincy, Massachusetts. This training is also really good for people that have also taken the Tom Tam certification and the Canada training and others, including Ken Hayden. Those are other types of trainings, and this is a good complement for them because it gives the specific point location, but it also gives the science as to the why the points work and the underlying anatomy of what it works. It's not overwhelming, it's not difficult, but it's good to understand that basis, especially for practicing acupuncturists, doctors, which I've also taught throughout the country. So the key is to get a deeper understanding by learning the underlying science and benefits of the system. So this is based on science. This is based upon actual anatomy, and primarily, as you'll learn from the training, based upon bioelectricity, which is simply the messaging system of the central nervous system. In our training, you learn why it works and how it works. And the goal of the trainings are by the end of the training, you can use it immediately and practice and help people to reduce suffering for your friends, for your family, and for your patients. So the TAM healing system is the core basis of our training and our practice. The healing system was developed by Tom Tam. It is a synthesis or an evolution of Chinese medicine, TCM, and Western anatomy and neurology. So who is Tom Tam, just so you have an understanding? Below is a picture on the right of his most recent training in Europe. He taught in Belgium and in France. He originally came from China, Canton, China, Guangdong, China, and he has a background in energy healing, Tuina, Qigong, Kaiji Chuan. So he understands about energy and qi in the body and bioelectricity of the nervous system as well as the energy of the blood. Those are different types of qi as well. So about 25 years ago, he developed this system, and since then it has been evolving and getting a higher and higher success rate, in particular for cancer. So I've been working with him for about 15 years, and I've still seen a lot of the later developments. The system is relatively complete because it can undertake almost any condition. He transformed his healing system from traditional Chinese medicine, his background as an acupuncturist and as a martial artist, into the healing arts, into a system using the Western paradigm of Western anatomy and physiology. But as I said before, it's primarily focused on the central nervous system and the nerves of the body. So you're probably wondering, for those of you that don't know me, there's a picture of me down there below during one of my trainings, doing a medical massage therapy training for my students. I've been working in this field for about 15 years, but even before that, I had a background in Chinese martial arts and the Chinese healing arts. I lived in Asia for 15 years. I was a Chinese translator, software engineer, and I'm presently a massage therapist, Tong Ren practitioner, which is the distance healing. I'm a blogger. I have a vibranthealthnews.com website, which is about news for healing, for common sense nutrition, plant-based nutrition. I'm an author of two published books so far, and I have about 5 ready to go. And I'm a chef of plant-based nutrition, primarily focused on nutrition for healing, where I've studied all over the country. So, and I've been working with Tom Tam for 15 years, so I have a pretty good understanding of how the system works. And as I said, I devoted a lot of time to do research and understand the actual science behind the healing system. So the healing system itself has very, very simple guidelines and philosophies. The core philosophy is to open a blockage. The blockage focus is on the CNS, or the central nervous system. There are 3 primary techniques that we practice to open these blockages. One is distance healing, which is Tong Ren. This is energy healing at a distance. I've had clients all over the world. The second technique, which I also practice, is massage therapy. We call it Tui Na medical massage. Tui Na is a hand form primarily used for Chinese medicine, but we've applied these techniques to our specific focus and our specific points. The third technique is acupuncture. So I've taught in acupuncture college before, and I've taught other acupuncturists. These techniques and the core foundation can be applied to any technique, any methodology. So let's go a little bit deeper into what these 3 methods are. The first one is distance healing, which is Tong Ren. That is what I call healing without borders. So I've had clients throughout the world working by telephone or by Skype, because as we know, there's energy and we are all connected by energy in one way or another. One important thing to understand is that we don't have side effects. The techniques we use do not have any side effects. We're basically using the natural resources of the body, and in a very gentle but very effective way. In terms of distance healing, I have one case study that I'd like to share with you. It is about a 6-year-old leukemia patient, a little girl in New Jersey. I never met her personally. Her mother was searching for help for her daughter, who was in hospice in New York. They're originally in New Jersey. They're originally from New York, and they were struggling to see if they could recover their daughter, who was in the end stage of her leukemia challenge. She was in bed with IV feeds and wasn't really speaking and moving anymore, and wasn't eating anymore. So when the mom found me on the internet through my website, we started to work on her, and not only did we work on her almost on a daily basis, then eventually 3 times a week, but the mother was working on her as many as 3 hours every single day until we started to have a turnaround. One of the things that we did was, when we began, I know that leukemia has a blockage at T1, which is at the top of the spine, thoracic number 1, and that deals with leukemia. What I noticed when I got a picture back, that there was a lump, actually a block, physically visible on her upper area. So I also encouraged the mom to massage that area to remove that blockage. So that confirmed that the blockage was the cause of this leukemia. As well as working on that blockage, we did the Tong Ren every day, and I taught the mom to do it so that she could do it herself. After about 3 months, we had some good results. Gradually, she was changing. She got out of bed. She began to talk. She began to run around and play. She sent me drawings. She's an artist, little girl. And she was eating normally and having a normal life for a child. So eventually she went home. She was declared cancer-free. So that's one of the case studies for distance healing. But the core philosophy, either through Tong Ren, massage therapy, or acupuncture, can all be applied and can all have the same effectiveness. So our next technique is Tui Na medical massage therapy. This is actually using our hands. So this is focused on opening a physical blockage, just as we saw on T1 with the leukemia patient. We work along the spine with our hands at a very specific area, very close to the spine, to open up a blockage. And they're usually pretty obvious. As you can see in the bottom right there, we have the core understanding of our approach for the hands-on, all of the methodologies. We have the command center, our brain, we have the sympathetic nervous system, and we have the parasympathetic nervous system. Basically a mechanism in the body of speeding up and slowing down reactions, primarily focused on survival. So that's the second technique, Tuina medical massage therapy. The third is acupuncture using needles. It's focused on needling a blockage right along the spine. For anyone that is a acupuncturist, they would know the term huatuo, which is there's a specific area called the huatuo jiaji points right along the spine. So Tom Tam has a background in Chinese medicine, and this was one of his early clues into the effectiveness of the points along the spine. And we actually go a little closer and even at a different angle than traditional Huatuo practitioners. So we're not focused on Chinese medicine, as I said, which is focused on the primary 12 meridians and 2 additional meridians. We're focused on the opening of a blockage of the nerves, which is the bioelectricity, opening up of blockages on the organs, and as well as glands, which are the biochemical communication systems. And secondly, we focus on blood flow. So even if the nerves, organs, and glands are all working properly, if the blood flow to those areas has resistance, they will also work poorly, and there will also be the potential for having a disease develop. So we actually always work on increasing blood flow to nourish the areas which are delivering oxygen and nutrients and different things, especially in cases of cancer. That's very critical. So the effective conditions for the Tam Healing System, we treat cancer, Parkinson's, organ problems, gland problems, autoimmune conditions, ALS, MS, inflammation, and more. Most of these conditions usually have harsh medical drugs, therapies like chemotherapy, and a very low success rate. We actually do very well with these. And as I said, unlike chemotherapy, radiation, harsh medications, and drugs, we don't have any side effects. So people always ask, why should I learn this healing system? Well, as I just mentioned before, it's very effective even for cancer. And probably about 80% of our treatments are for cancer patients. But for professionals as well as just their patients, it is an extra tool to add onto their existing practice. So they might get that little extra help using our healing system. Some people use it exclusively, some use it in complement with their own practice. So as I've taught, it's good for doctors, acupuncturists, nurses, body workers, any healthcare professional. And our training has been brought to a high level of expertise. It has been approved by the National Board of Acupuncturists, NCCAOM, and the National Board for Massage Therapists, NCBTMB, for CEUs and for PDAs. For personal reasons, a lot of people practice and learn these methodologies so they can treat themselves, treat their family members, and it's very easy to do and very easy to learn. So it's very practical, and it's a very easy and beneficial way to help reduce suffering for people we know. So what is Tong Ren Academy? That's why people are here today. Tong Ren Academy is a specific organization and training facility, international, for learning these techniques that I've been practicing for 15 years. We have 3 levels of training. One is the foundation, which is the anatomy and point location. The second one is the application of the foundation, which is Tong Ren healing, which is the distance healing we talked about before. And I mentioned the case study of the 6-year-old leukemia patient. The third one is the next application, which is Tuina medical massage therapy, using our hands to open a blockage. And soon we'll be adding on level 4, which is acupuncture. So we're actually going to specifically focus on helping acupuncturists learn these very advanced, but very easy to learn and very helpful techniques. So again, what is the Tong Ren Academy? It's 3 ways to learn this training. The first one is live workshops, which is a 2-day training which covers all levels. The second is a live webinar, which is a one-day training, which covers level 1 and 2. And that can be done from anybody in the world with an internet connection. And I've just recently finished training for Greece, actually for this summer, and now they're doing trainings. The next one is self-study online training, where you can train at your own pace through my online training on my website. And that covers the anatomy and point location and level 1. So that covers everything, and I know there may be some questions, and I'm going to answer those. But thank you very much for your time. I look forward to hearing from all of you. My easiest email address is Joe, J-O-E, at Tong Ren Academy, one word, TONGRENACADEMY.com. So Joe at tongrenacademy.com, or my phone number, 617-276-5603. I'll be emailing everyone shortly to follow up, see if you have any questions. So for now in the audience, I'm going to answer a couple of questions. And the first one is, where is the location for the live workshops? And that is in Quincy, Massachusetts, just outside the Boston area, very, very close from Logan Airport, probably about a 20-minute drive. In Quincy itself, we have some hotels nearby, very easy to access. And the training is actually 2 days, taught in my clinic, 10 to 6. On day 2, the actual hands-on massage therapy training, I also serve lunch for people to experience healing foods and plant-based nutrition if they want. But like I say, day 2 is all hands-on work, where we break up into teams, we all have a table, and we actually work the entire form, a form that I've developed specifically for the Tam Healing System. It's done specifically to best access the healing points. So the next question is about the Tong Ren healing, which is energy healing, distance healing, which is done remotely. So I've worked on people all over the world, Faroe Islands, India, Europe, China, Ireland, all over the United States, calculating the time zone changes and working on people with great success. Basis for that is about energy healing, that we're all connected. And a good analogy to think of how it works is, imagine if you're in a swimming pool with someone. You're at one end and somebody's at the other end, and you tap the water, there's a ripple that goes all the way to the other end, and that other person will actually be impacted by that ripple. With our mind, with our intention, we can actually send energy, and with our focus of a specific strategy, such as our healing, we can actually send healing energy to a very specific blockage. It works quite well. Our webinar, in particular, our next webinar is on the 8th of November. So thank you very much for your time. I look forward to hearing from you. And if you have any questions, like I say, feel free to contact me. And I see we have no more questions. So thank you very much and have a great day.